New Year celebrations swept across the globe, ushering in 2023 with the countdowns and fireworks and marking an end to an year that brought war in Europe and global worries over inflation. The new year began in the tiny atoll nation of Kiribati in the Central Pacific and then moved across Russia and New Zealand before heading deeper into the time zone by time zone through Asia, Africa, Europe, and into the Americas. An explosion outside the military airport in Kabul on Sunday has caused multiple casualties, a spokesperson from Taliban-run Interior Ministry has said. Local residents said that a loud explosion was heard before 8 p.m. in the vicinity of the military side of the heavily fortified airport. They said that the area has been sealed off by security forces and all roads were closed. The Taliban-run administration has been facing a bloody insurgency waged by the Islamic State group, which has in the recent weeks targeted a number of key installations in Kabul. Former Pope Benedict XVI died at the age of 96, almost a decade after he stood down because of ailing health. He led the Catholic Church a fewer than 8 years until in 2013 he became the first pope to resign since George XII in 1415. Benedict spent his final years at the Mater Elici monastery within the walls of Vatican, where he passed away. His successor, Pope Francis, will lead the funeral on 5th of January. A court in military-run Myanmar convicted the country's ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi for corruption on Friday. The court also sentenced her to 7 years in prison in connection with the case, which is the last in a string of criminal cases against her. The court's action leaves her with a total of 33 years to serve in the prison following a series of political tingle prosecutions since the army toppled her elected government in February of 2021. Andrew Tate, a former professional kickboxer and an online personality who frequently made controversial comments to his large following on social media sites, was arrested in Romania along with his brother Tristan and 2 other of his Romanian accomplices on the charges of human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized criminal group. Tate drew attention this week after getting into a spat on Twitter with the 19-year-old climate activist Greta Thunberg, bragging about his collection of exotic cars and their enormous emissions. Leading the Jewish state of Israel's most hardline government to date, Benjamin Netanyahu was sworn in as the new prime minister on Thursday. The formation of Netanyahu's sixth government, which consists of several far-right allies, marks the return of the 73-year-old as the prime minister. According to reports, many are concerned that this will put the new government at odds with the sizable portion of its own population as well as the closest allies abroad. While addressing the Knesset ahead of the swearing ceremony, Netanyahu said that the three national goals of his administration are to stop Iran from developing nuclear weapons, begin construction of a bullet train that would run the entire length of the nation, and bring more Arab nations into the fold of the Abrahamic Pact. Pele, the Brazilian king of football who won a record 3 World Cups and became one of the most commanding sports figures in the last century, died on December 30th at the age of 82. The standard bearer of the beautiful game had undergone treatment for colon cancer since 2021. He has been hospitalized for the last few months with multiple ailments. Widely regarded as one of football's greatest players, Pele spent nearly 2 decades enchanting fans and dazzling opponents as the game's most prolific sorcerer with Brazilian club Santos and Brazil's national team. Russia issued a decree on the ban of oil sales to the countries and companies that comply with the oil prices caps agreed by the Western countries in response to Moscow's offense in Ukraine. It added that the ban may be lifted in individual cases on the basis of special decision from Russian President Vladimir Putin. The decree will be in effect from February 1st until July 1st. The price ceiling of $60 per barrel agreed by the European Union, G7, and Australia comes into force in early December and seek to restrain Russia's revenue while making sure that Moscow keeps supplying the global market.